Please let me see your penis. Whenever we go over speed bumps with Max in the car, we go, oh, and he really enjoys it. Just the point.
And teachers spent 6 months creating this statue of their school's most famous former student, Lewis Capaldi. He called it beautiful, but then followed up with saying,
Can I show you some things? I have things to show you.
You have things to show me?
Yeah. Here's the thing. Throughout the week, for the podcast, I always find little videos, and I'm like, that'd be good to speak about. But without the context of the videos, they're not that good to speak about. And they don't really have, there's not a section for them. So I just sent them to our TikTok account so I could pull them up. And I thought we could just watch them.
Okay.
As a little icebreaker, I don't know. We'll just rely on someone else's content.
That's what all the best content creators do.
I mean, that's what we do anyway, really, with the band submissions. So maybe if I just jump onto our inbox.
My name is Richard and I'm sitting in the corner. Sitting in the corner, playing my recorder. My parents really wanted me to become a lawyer. My name is Richard and I'm sitting in the corner.
How good's that?
I love it.
Isn't it good?
I love it. Because it's a catchy tune.
I've been singing it all week.
Like he's got the comical like voice. It kind of, I don't know. It fits, and it's relatable.
It's great.
It's relatable.
It's really good.
Because I think there's a little bit of that all like in all of us. We've all been sat in the corner playing our recorder.
Yeah, your parents are wishing better.
Metaphorically.
Oh, and literally, I had a Irish tin whistle.
You had a recorder?
Actually. Irish tin whistle. Yeah, a little penny whistle.
Is that just like a fancy way of saying a recorder?
It basically is, yeah.
Like unless you're Irish, and they'll probably fight you to the death for...
Yeah. Shall I show you one more?
Yeah, go for it.
It's not a song, this one. This is from ITV News. You might have seen it.
Pupils and teachers spent 6 months creating this statue of their school's most famous former student, Lewis Capaldi. He called it beautiful, but then followed up with saying it might give him nightmares. Pupils and teachers spent 6 months creating this statue.
Wait, now I need to see a picture of like Lewis Capaldi as a kid.
Maybe you didn't like it.
We're laughing at it. Maybe that was like the best sculpture ever made.
I'll Google Lewis Capaldi child.
I thought they were like Andy Serkis, like Gollum.
Yeah. Or there's that actor who's always in like ITV shows who has funky eyes. Anyway, roll the intro, I guess.
Why are you giving your inner monologue about?
No, it's fine. I don't think you. I don't think you'll hear it. Well, no, it's also to let you know that, like, it was playing. You know, you don't watch the monitors as much as I do. How are you?
I'm alright. How are you?
I'm alright. I have another one.
Roll the credits.
I had another one, but it was just There I Ruined It. Have you seen them before?
I have seen some of them.
Where he takes great songs or great artists and ruins them. They're always really good. This, honestly, it wasn't even one of the good ones, to be honest.
To the window,
oh, no, it wasn't.
To the wall, until the sweat drops down my balls, until all you bitches crawl. Oh, skeet, goddamn.
Oh, Frank.
Is it such a good TikTok account? There I ruined it.
Oh my god, if people knew Frank was singing that now, he'd be cancelled.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Because the women will be like, that's an arse song. I don't know. It's just good fun. It's just good fun.
That's great. See, there are some good things on TikTok.
That's AI as well, though. We were talking about AI generation. That's Frank Sinatra AI singing Wet Ass. You know the rest.
No, that's not Wet Ass Pussy.
Here it is.
No, it's not. That's
no, it's not. No, it's not.
Yeah, down these windows.
Yeah. Sorry. I'd like to apologise to who did that song.
I only know
Biggie?
that from Need.
Biggie. I know it's not Biggie. I'm just messing.
I only know that from.
Is it Ludacris?
Yes. Too Fast, Too Furious. I was about to say that.
No, but is it Ludacris?
I'm pretty sure it's Ludacris. Because Ludacris is in Too Fast, Too Furious.
This is going to be really embarrassing if it's not.
Drive too fast. Drive too furious.
It's not. It's Little John.
Okay. We're racist.
Little John Get Low is what that is. Can I show you something else?
It's weird how there's like a few songs that I know that are way out of my brand of music.
Yeah, but it's just
because of Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yeah, 100%. So that was Ludacris, though, right? Ludacris did that song, didn't he? Or was that Little John as well?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you want something else?
Yeah.
Something else fun?
Yeah.
So this is like just chilling out. Is what this is. This isn't even a podcast.
Two guys sharing TikToks.
Yeah, this isn't a TikTok. This is a song on Spotify.
Okay.
It's really, really good, and he has thousands of them. I'll let you know that he has thousands of them. I'll give his artist name once you've heard the song.
Ben, 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 Ben. Ben, 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 Ben. 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 Ben, 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 Ben. Ben, Ben, Ben. B-E-N, B-E-N. Ben, Ben, Ben. B-E-N, Ben, Ben.
He just sings names.
So it's just different names.
That's the Ben song. Yeah.
Is that like a Rob song?
There's all of us. So like any name you could think of, he has sung it in the song. He has thousands and thousands. He has hundreds of albums.
That is the most stupid thing I've ever seen.
If you're wondering, the artist is the guy who sings your name over and over on Spotify. Yeah.
That's his name?
Yeah.
The guy that sings...
Yeah.
Oh,
He's got some that seem a bit like funny. Do you know? They're very like start of the internet. There's one that the most listened is the Smelly Butt song, which is that's like you'd get that on. What's the website? I can't even remember if it doesn't matter. But like when the internet started and they were like, oh, we can put music out.
Like,
it
you're
was
about
always
like Joe
that
Cartoon.
shit. Yeah, like Joe Cartoon.
Oh, anyone alive that knows what we're talking about with Joe Cartoon?
Yeah, I no one will. I don't think anyone will.
That was in that was when the internet was a baby.
Yeah. 100%. So that's that. He does volumes, and each volume has 50 songs on it, and that was volume 17. So he's got a lot of tracks.
I love the idea. Like he must like all day, every day, just be recording.
He did in 2013. I can tell you, in 2013 he released a lot. It's really smart because it's all the same backing track, so all of them sound exactly like that. There's two different Beckys depending on how he spells it because he spells it out. But my partner Becky is obviously a special gal and she has to spell it weird.
She doesn't have special needs or anything.
I don't know, man. She doesn't listen to this. We're fine. Yeah, so that's everything that I had prepared. We've just pissed through in about 10 minutes. So, you got anything?
No, roll the credits.
We just played the credits over and over again. I have one bit of musical news, maybe two, but one of them I don't want to speak about because YouTube will tell us off because I have to say a name, and as soon as I say a name, it'll be bullying.
Is it like Rizzo? Does it rhyme with Rizzo?
No.
Okay.
No. What? No.
Well, I don't know.
No, I'm done
normally
with Lizzo.
we get done for bullying because we...
Yeah. No, it's not her. It's Sam Smith.
Sam Smith.
Cancelled one of their shows after 4 songs. That was it. That's. I think that's the biggest music news.
Well, I will say like
from something else.
Caveat. I think I've read a little bit of
Voice.
that. Yeah, the voice went off.
I've done right. I've not toured like professional artist tour, right? Where they play at least a show a night for 5-6 nights on a row and then have a little break. Like that's intense. So it's it's tough. You kind of, if you're sensible, it doesn't happen. And if you're good at singing, like I'm not good at singing, so if I go and belt songs out, I may not be doing it perfectly trained, and because of that, it can damage my voice. And I'm working on that a little bit. But if you're a professional touring artist, you kind of usually take really good care of your voice. So it's weird, but it can happen. So it's tough.
Well, because I know that like a lot of artists that are on tour, they'll have like really strict regiments in place to sort of take care of the voice, and they'll try not to speak.
They won't even speak. Yeah, you see it all the time. I think I've seen a video of like Taylor Swift has like a whiteboard, and she'll write on a whiteboard to respond to people because she'll have day offs. So she'll have an entire day off where she doesn't use her voice.
Yeah, and I always feel like that sounds pretentious, but it's literally your voice. Like vocal cords are a muscle. and it's like if you're like pumping the gym, you do leg day.
Who's gym?
You do your leg day, right, at the gym.
Yeah.
Afterwards, you
They're
can't
sore.
walk.
Yeah.
Right? Do you know what I mean? And you're like, if you're in a position to do so, you'll stay off your feet all day because your legs are just like gone. It's the same with your vocal cords.
Yeah.
If you're like especially if you're like a high sort of I don't know, high level of performance, you know, you rest your vocal cords for next day. It's not that unusual, but
it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
People, and I think the problem is loads of people have come out and been like, I took the day off work, I spent thousands on the tickets, and that brings just a different problem, which is concert tickets are horrific at the moment.
I mean, we've spoken about it before.
Yeah, we speak about it all the time.
At some point, someone has to fucking step in and do something about the price.
I have the solution. So if anyone has £150,000 that they want to invest, right, we will take the market
Link
on.
below.
No, honestly, genuinely, I know exactly how to fix it, and I won't even say it on here because I genuinely think that if someone does it, they'll make billions off the idea. But someone just needs to make Ticketmaster and all
Is
that
it
shit defunct.
like in order to get a ticket, right?
Urine
You
sample.
have to submit right with a form, and you have to send them a dick pic.
No, a video of you singing the artist. You want to see, if you want to go see ABBA live, you have to record yourself doing Dancing Queen for at least 30 seconds.
But naked.
You're like, please let me see your penis. No, so yeah, I think people were upset about that. It, as you say, it's we've ragged on certain elements of Sam Smith previously of just that they're a bit bonkers.
Well, because I think people will dig into it because he's a controversial figure, right?
They are a
But
controversial figure.
At the same time, sometimes your voice just goes.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many artists that have had
it's
to
tough.
cancel gigs
100%.
because their voice is gone.
Absolutely. Sam Smith could have just said that the concert happened, and people may have just had to go along with it and say that it did. I don't know. But
One thing it has confirmed me, and I'm amazed, is that I guess he sings at his concerts.
yeah,
It's good. That's
Fair enough.
always good to know, isn't it?
it's great. Yeah. Or why wasn't that the solution? Sam Smith's voice gone. Just mime because no one cares enough.
No one bloody sings anyway.
Yeah, so that happened. Hopefully, people get their money back. That's what I'll say. People that have spent, but the problem is,
on a similar note, I think Celine Dion has just had to cancel a tour.
the way you just said Celine Dion was disgusting. but
Celine-
that's fine.
what did I say?
Celine Dion.
Yeah, Celine Dion.
You made her sound like a big shark. Oh no, it's the Celine Dion.
yeah, maybe I don't know. Yeah, Celine Dion.
Yeah.
Has just had to cancel a tour as well because she's got. I didn't realize she's got like a disease. It's called
What?
stiff person syndrome.
No, are you messing?
No, like really true. And
Really true.
Yeah, really true.
The doctor's like, you have stiff person syndrome.
true,
Really true.
True and
No
based.
cap. No cap. On God, bro.
On God, no cap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, Celine Dion.
Celine Dion, stiff person syndrome, which apparently is like some like neurological disorder where like muscles kind of like stiffen up and you can't move, and it affects like the vocal muscles as
Because
well.
she's proper old, isn't she?
She's not even that old.
No,
She's like 55.
she's not 50. Have you seen that? Or are you guessing?
I'm sure.
I would have guessed 72.
Because I googled what
She's
stiff
55,
person.
yeah.
I told you, 55. She's not even that old.
She looks terrible.
What?
No, that's unfair. That's
No, you
unfair.
can't say that.
That's
We might have
unfair.
to bleep
That's
that.
unfair.
We
No,
might
I
have
didn't
to
say
bleep-
it. I didn't say it.
We
I
might
didn't.
have to-
YouTube, please. I didn't. No, she has. Look. It's. I shouldn't have said it, but I think it's because she's.
We're not gonna get you.
I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything about that shit. Okay, that's a bad picture, right? That's unfair. That's a bad picture. Because look, I'll bring up this picture, and she does look amazing in that picture.
Yeah,
But in that picture, she looks like someone Will Smith would have to fight in a Men in Black film. So
yeah, but everyone's got pictures.
everyone, yeah. There's a good Lewis Capaldi to talk about him again for the second time on this podcast. We're only 15 minutes in, but there's a good TikTok of him being like, "Don't you hate it when your mate tags you in an Instagram post and you don't look that great in the picture?" And then he's like, Imagine being me, and it's the Daily Mail releasing it to millions of people. And it's a bad picture.
That, yeah.
Anyway, Celine Dion. Hopefully, I don't know. That sounds really horrible. Any
It
neurological
sounds like a neurological disorder as well that not a lot of people
muscular
know
disease.
about. I've never heard of stiff, but I thought it was a joke. I thought she was like...
Is it something else, and that's the name for it? That's like the layman.
Well, I don't know. Like
I don't know anything about it, as you say. But that's really sad. Luckily, Celine Dion is one of the richest artists there is. So, she wasn't doing it for the need to pay rent.
Oh, yeah, no, but I was just bringing it up because obviously cancelled tours and stuff. It happens. So, unfortunately, sometimes things get cancelled.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless it's a Foo Fighters concert, and then like it will just happen like regardless.
Yeah. It's... Excuse me, a little burp came out then. It's tough. It's tough. But again, as I said, I'm not going to rag. I hope people get their money back. It's tough because people are going through resale sites as well. You can't buy tickets now.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, you're not even getting it from a supplier.
So all of these people are like, I've spent thousands to go and see Sam Smith. I'm like, I don't know, they're going to get thousands back.
Yeah.
The event people may refund the 65 quid or whatever the ticket might be, but that's not. No one's paid that amount.
It is. It should not be allowed. Like, I don't understand how it's legal.
As I said, I've got the solution. So if there's a really rich person on here, hit me up and we'll start a startup and we'll solve it all.
It's just profiteering. It's like, it's almost like if you work somewhere and you buy the stock at face value and then you're just selling it on eBay.
I can tell you
when that happens, the employers will fire you. They'll find your eBay account. They'll find that you're selling stock, and they'll fire you for profiteering.
Yeah.
But yet somehow on this, like, I know it's slightly different because it's not employees of like the wholesalers that are selling the tickets, but it's kind of the same. Yeah,
I can tell you as well. I can tell you the figure, at least for from a couple years ago, was over $18 billion a year is how much the resale industry makes. So that's how much money is added on top of tickets a year, is $18 billion. So all of your Ticketmasters and all of those people are making $18 billion out of making it harder for you to go see your concerts. So it's like, and as I said, I've got a solution. This whole podcast is, are you a billionaire? If Elon Musk or maybe Mark Cuban, I like him. Who else has lots of money? Rob McElhenney? He has some money.
Yeah, but if you're going after
Ryan Reynolds. Here's the thing, though. Ryan Reynolds is... they're both large fishes, I would argue.
Hasn't Ryan Reynolds just sold a company for like £1 billion?
Was that Mint Mobile? He's a smart man, and he's doing work. Maybe I'll go for Blake Lively. That'd be fun.
Go for Blake Lively? Maybe reframe that.
For the investment.
All right.
First. and we'll just see what happens. We'll be having dinners, late nights working on the solution. Tina Turner passed away. That's really sad.
Yeah,
that's a hard cut. I'm sorry.
I know.
I've got nothing prepared.
We're going from Blake Lively to Tina Turner's dead.
We can stay on Blake Lively if you want. It's sad.
It is sad. And do you know what I realised the other day, right?
What's that?
Is that as much as it is sad, and I was like, yeah, Tina Turner's massive, huge. I think I only know one song.
No, I know a few more. What's your one song?
Like Simply the Best.
What's love got to do with it? You don't know that? Surely you know that.
I just don't think Tina Turner's ever really been on my radar.
But
then at the same time, it's like, not like in a, I'm not like
Mountain
stating
High?
it. Like I know. Oh, is that Tina Turner? Oh, there you go.
Is that Tina Turner?
I don't know if it is.
River Deep, Mountain High is one of her. Rolling on the River. Rolling on the river. Anyway, do you know what though? It's a really good point. And Tina Turner, again, huge artist. She's worth $250 million. So $250 million. That's a lot of money. Maybe loops back to the whole you can't really sell albums now. So I think the people like that, like your Celine Dion's and your Shakiras and Shania Twain's, are from a generation where you sold albums. So those people are rich as fuck. But she was also, I think she was the sort of paving the way a bit.
Yeah.
Like a very influential artist. There'll be loads of people now that are influenced by people that are influenced by Tina Turner now. It won't even be direct. So really sad news.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I don't know. There's there's old people in the music industry that I think if they passed away, people won't be that sad about that won't, like Yoko Ono. I think she's like 90 now. She's still alive.
Yeah.
That feels unfair. Do you know what I mean?
You're like, hello.
Yeah. What are you doing? Stop taking the good ones.
Oh, speaking of, he has been doing some good work up there, the big man.
God, what?
What?
I don't know what this could be.
Can you see what it is yet?
Oh yeah.
He's dead, mate.
Yeah. I don't
dead.
want to speak about it though. Because
Well, I haven't spoken about it.
No, but what I'm saying is, my issue is that we could talk about someone horrific being horrific, and then YouTube will like ban us, and they'll be like, "Don't speak about that." And you're like, "What's your problem?"
So you're saying we probably can't speak about Philip Schofield?
We definitely can't talk about Philip Schofield. No. What? That he's left, and there's nothing weird. He's just left the show.
Definitely, yeah. It's nothing weird. It's just like the show.
Yeah, Rolf Harris died, so that is good. You're right. No, I think no one's sad about that one. Interesting though, because like for the couple weeks before he died, I keep getting an advert for a documentary on like ITV or something for a Rolf Harris doc. So they crushed the timing releasing that. Like
God.
someone in marketing is like, I tell you, release it now. Because in a couple of weeks we're gonna. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I reckon ITV killed him, probably. They've got a man on the inside. They're like, take out Rolf. This documentary's going to rock it.
Like desperate for sort of viewing figures.
Yeah. So I don't know. I can't endorse that documentary. I've not seen it yet.
Oh, you reckon they killed Rolf Harris to try and get
That's what I'm
people,
saying.
Like, to sweep the Philip Schofield situation
Oh.
because they're both ITV.
And they both... No, never mind. I can't say that. I can't say that.
In other news, Fetty Wap,
What?
the rapper, has been sentenced to 6 years.
What do you do?
Something with cocaine.
Do it or sell it or have it?
I imagine.
6 years. He must have been
I
selling
imagine he had, or at least he had more.
Oh, he had
he had more on him than like
what's it called?
like personal use or whatever.
What's it called when it crosses over and it's then a felony? He had a felony amount,
Maybe,
right?
maybe,
I
I don't
reckon
know.
that feels like that's the situation.
That's the
now.
only other bit of news that came up that I thought was noteworthy.
Fine. I'm fine with that. That's good.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah. At least not with Fetty Wap.
Oh yeah, no. The only other thing I saw, I tried to get more
You've got
information.
loads of news.
I know. I tried to get more. Yeah, but it's all rubbish news.
Yeah. That's fun.
The only other thing I saw was that Stormzy
Okay.
has allegedly come under
Big
fire.
fan.
And when I say allegedly come under fire,
Oh, is it like
because
a headline?
I couldn't actually see anyone.
Yeah. People
Right,
are angry.
Just a bunch of headlines. Also, a side note is another example of why I hate all news outlets, right? Because bearing in mind all of the news outlets I found, apart from maybe the Daily Mail,
Mm-hmm.
right? But everyone else on Twitter, because I was trying to gauge where this outrage was coming
yeah,
from.
yeah,
right?
I do it all the
And I
time.
couldn't-
It doesn't
I couldn't-
exist.
I couldn't see anyone.
It never exists.
No one retweeting it. I couldn't see anyone. There was no replies on any of the things.
Yeah.
No one had typed anything on any of the articles that I'd seen.
Yeah.
It was just the article. So I don't know where this outrage has come from.
It's the same people that
But-
that are
But
I was just going to say it's the same people that are always inspired and amazed and in awe of how beautiful Lizzo is.
Yeah.
And then you go and you're like, I'm not seeing them. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, but then it annoys me about these news outlets, right? Because they've all copy and pasted the exact same headline.
Right, nice.
So like just copy and pasted.
Amazing.
Right, I'm just like,
Who reads the news now? It's mental.
it's dead. It's a dead format.
Yeah.
Like, news is just don't watch the news.
Yeah. Come to us instead. We'll break it down for you real talk.
With our 30 seconds of research
Yeah,
that we've
yeah.
done into everything. But people are allegedly outraged because he hired a monkey, right, to use in his latest music video, right, to help him roll a joint and pass him a joint.
On the video.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant.
So here's the thing, right? I don't get what the outrage is, right? I'm assuming, right?
Is it using
I'm
a monkey?
assuming the monkey got paid, right? And
monkey doesn't
as
get
long as
paid.
the monkey got like cigarette breaks,
Yeah.
like a coffee break,
If,
right?
as
or
long as he
whatever.
got a...
It's fine.
If he's on the rotation...
he doesn't know what a joint is.
No, the problem...
I'm like,
I think
it's
the problem is
fine.
probably
Probably
the
the
usage
message.
of a monkey.
Is it?
Yeah,
is
I
it
think
just
so.
wait? In what sense though?
As in, like, I think people are against using monkeys to perform now. Like,
Just
having
in
performing
general.
monkeys. For example, I watched the latest season of Always Sunny. Have you watched the latest season of Always Sunny?
No, but then do these same
Very,
people?
very
My
good.
question is, do these same people that like have a problem with that? do they then like boycott any movie that's got animals in it?
Yeah, they hate Homeward Bound.
Like, was what I'm saying is, I feel like there's different.
Babe.
There's like films that just you do what you want in a
They
film.
actually allow
no one
racing
cares.
stripes.
But then it's like Stormzy uses a monkey in a music video. It's like, how dare he?
I mean, it's pretty funny. Like, and it's one of those things where it's like when you're so big and you're like, what can I do? It's like, I could probably get someone to train a monkey for me to roll a joint. I bet there were monkeys ready to go as well. I bet no training was needed. They called up a guy and they're like, hey, we need a monkey that can roll a joint. He's like, I've got you. I've got 3 of them.
I think, right, because back in the day, like, you just get monkeys for everything. There used to be PG Tips adverts.
Yeah.
Monkeys everywhere, right? Whatever.
I feel like Johnny Vegas.
I feel like there's monkeys Johnny Vegas, but with monkeys.
It was just a dumb,
right?
Yeah.
But they're everywhere. The monkeys all over the gaff, right? They've got so much work. I reckon there's probably now an epidemic of depressed monkeys that are out of work. They're just like, I don't know what to do. They're on the dole. They're just like collecting benefits. Right? And then now Stormzy's giving these monkeys an opportunity. He's giving monkeys
to provide for their monkey
back
families.
In work. Yeah.
I don't know if it's that. I don't know if it's that. Or you think there's monkeys that are just sat at the zoo and they're like, they've got like a leaf. And
Have
they're just
you ever been
to
a zoo and seen monkeys there? I feel like they want to be more human.
That is true. They do enjoy mimicking.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Bloody working.
What I was going to say about Always Sunny though is in the latest season of Always Sunny, there's an episode with a monkey, but I think it was very, very obvious that it was a CGI monkey.
Right.
And it felt like a decision. It was like they probably could have made it so the monkey seemed really realistic. I think they intentionally were like, we're not going to do that for the sake that people can look at it and go, that's not a real monkey, so no one has to boycott it. Do you know what I mean?
I just think it is mental, right? In a world where we have domesticated cats and dogs, right? And a world now where you can get you can just have a goat as a pet, or you can have whatever. We also now I don't know, people are freaking out over some weird stuff. I don't think these monkeys are being mistreated. I reckon a monkey that works on a film set probably has a better life than most monkeys.
I don't know. I couldn't make
I don't
claim.
know.
I don't know.
That's why I said probably.
and this is also what goes back to my point though, that I doubt it's like look, there are people that own monkeys, right? And there are people that smoke weed. And I think that Venn diagram, there's a hell of a crossover, right? Because those people that are rapping, they love buying monkeys and things like that and getting weird animals. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, I don't think they needed to intensely train the monkey to roll a joint. They found a monkey that could roll a joint. That's what's happened there. Stormzy's met a guy. This is what's happened. Stormzy's been touring, and he's met a rapper who's supported him on a show, and he's gone, I have a monkey that rolls my joints. And Stormzy's gone, I'm going to give you a call
Here's
in
the
a
thing.
year.
Here's the thing, right? Because just on that, I've seen a video on TikTok of a wild monkey, right? Take the
jacket.
coat,
Take
a jacket off a guy. He's like, I want the jacket, and then they give him a jacket, and he just puts the jacket on.
And it looks amazing.
It's like the smartest monkey. This is what I'm saying. It's like monkeys are different. monkeys without any prompting will literally they'll act like a human and steal your phone.
You should start a monkey union.
Well, I don't want to deal with them because monkeys scare me as well. They're deadly.
No, that's chimps.
Yeah, it is chimps.
Chimps
and
will
apes.
rip you
Chimps
apart.
and apes.
Yeah.
They're like,
I don't think. I don't know. What are gorillas? They're banned.
They're banned.
Oh, come on, that's stupid. Roll the stupid graphic. I'm gonna. No, I don't. I think you're. If you give me the option of going face to face with a gorilla or a chimp, I would choose the gorilla.
Here's the thing, right?
Because I don't think a gorilla would tear you apart that much.
Well, like gorillas in mist and stuff, isn't it? Like you can just
gorillas are what?
Gorillas in mist. Like you can go and hang out with gorillas in the wild.
Okay.
It's like a thing you can do.
Sure, yeah.
Right.
This is what I'm saying. I don't think they would attack you.
I don't think anyone has ever just hung out with a chimp in the wild.
No, because here's the thing.
You see a chimp in the wild, they
tear you apart.
Yeah.
They tear each other apart.
Yeah.
Chimps look really cute, and you're like, they're kind of apart from. They would look at you and go, do you know what would be really fun? I'll rip his arms off of his body.
There have been people, obviously in America, because America is the only place where this sort of stuff happens. But you can have a chimp as a pet.
Mm-hmm.
And there are owners that have literally been eaten alive by their chimps.
It's good stuff. On that talk, on monkey unions,
wait, I had something that's just popped into my mind.
Oh, yeah? Give it to me.
It's irrelevant.
Okay.
But it was news.
Right.
But I can't remember what it was now.
I like it.
Moving on.
News. You had news that you were going to say.
Well, it was kind of news, but I can't remember what it was.
I've got nothing for you. I was possibly gonna just address. We got an interesting comment last week on last week's video about why we do 30 seconds, and I replied to it. And we had a back and forth, but I thought it would be interesting to just state, because there may be other people that feel the same way. Their point, because they come from a musician's perspective, and I'm always cautious of the fact that most of our listeners are musicians, but some of them aren't. Right, I know people that listen that aren't musicians, and they listen to the podcast side of it, and then they get to find some new music, and that's like a side part. We do 30 seconds. It was initially because of copyright reasons, and we since have spoken to say, do we need to listen to more? And if, this is maybe more to the comment, if we listen to a song and we don't get enough from that snippet, we tend to bump through, right? So, for example, if a submission comes in and we listen and we feel like there's going to be more, but we don't hear it, we may nudge the song forward a bit, listen to 10 more seconds. There's not a real strict 30-second policy we have, but I think we've spoken about, do we make it longer? Do we do a separate, or like, do we listen to the whole song and then on YouTube cut it down to 30 seconds? I think for the format of this show, it works to listen to 30 seconds. It's nice and quick. Because we listen to such a wide range, I think if we were a show where we listen to full songs, one, it would become a radio show where we're just talking in between songs, and I think that's just a different format of show. But two, it would be forcing people to listen to music they possibly don't like.
Yeah,
like there may be genres they're not interested in.
I've always thought about it as well, is that like if there's a really good song that you're like, you listen to 30 seconds of it and you go, that sounds amazing. That's great. Now go over to Spotify and listen to the music.
That's what I said. We kind of force people off our channel.
Yeah.
Which isn't the best thing for content creators to do, but for people trying to promote music.
But then there's also another one I've just thought of, is what if it's really bad?
Yeah. And look, I'm not going to out anyone, but we've had a couple submissions that I would say have been at, to be diplomatic, earlier stages of a musician's journey.
Yeah, and that's completely different. It's not even like bad or good. It's just, this isn't a finished product.
Yeah.
And then it's like, with you, like if it's not finished product, and then you have to listen to like 3.5-4 minutes of it.
Yeah.
It can be a bit much.
Here's what I would say. When I write a song, right?
And then also, he wants the 3.5 to 4 minutes of us just going like this.
Just that. Look, one of these, and then maybe something happens, and we're like, no. When I write a song, right, for the band, I usually write 8 or 9 songs, and maybe 1 or 2 of them will be good now. That's like my ratio. But when I get a good, what I think is good, I'll record a demo of it and I'll send it to the band. That demo is always hard to listen to.
It's rough.
But in the context of being in a band, you're like, okay, the chorus is catchy. You start visualizing it. So that's different to check out my song, and maybe it's an iPhone recording or something like that. So yeah, we'll stick with doing 30 seconds. Maybe in the future, if we ever add other shows, in my head, I would say another show could be more of like a live stream hang where we do listen to full stuff, but it's working out the format. And at the moment, I think we need to protect this as a podcast, the format of being, we listen to a few songs, it's good, we talk about music news, it's more of a podcast than like a radio show. Yeah. I think that's hopefully fair. I've got 2 bands to listen to,
right,
and then the wheel, so we've got a few artists. I think we just jump into that. I'm quite excited to listen to some bands. Whoop whoop, it's the sound of the police. Don't know if the mics will pick that up. So the first band we have is Frank Swisher. Yeah, they're from Toledo. I don't know
where that is.
Do you want to guess? I don't know where it is either.
Toledo.
Before I Google as well.
It's a stab in
Toledo.
the dark.
Toledo, Ohio.
Canada.
Really? Googling. Oh. It is. Now, here's what's interesting. It's in Spain.
Okay.
So we're
quite far away.
Is it in Spain? I don't want to be mean to anyone. Right? Wait, but there's a city of Toledo. Is that in Ohio? Is OH Ohio?
Yeah.
Have I guessed that right?
No.
City in Ohio, Toledo. Now, I'm going to guess something, because I was about to say, when I found out that it was in Spain, I was going to say any European or English or anyone that isn't American would specify where. So I would write Brighton, UK, Reading, UK, London, UK. Americans,
because nothing
else exists outside of America. So the fact that they've put Toledo, I would bet thousands.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That they're the Ohio Toledo and not the Spanish Toledo. Because they haven't specified, even though there's multiple ones. I can't believe that's Ohio, though. So I've got that right. Did I say Ohio?
You did.
Because I was thinking Columbus, which is Ohio. So let me have a little look. Where are they from? I don't know. But anyway, I'm not seeing a lot of Spanish, so I think there's possibilities there in Ohio. Oh, that's cool. Right. So have you got any guesses for genre? For Frank Swisher?
I think that sounds like a rapper name.
I can tell you the song is called It Don't Get No Better, spelled TTA, so I would guess you're right. Yeah, I think it's going to be rap. Which is funny, I don't listen to a lot of rap, but I actually find sometimes the best submissions we get are rap.
We've had some really good rap.
Banging rap songs. Here is Frank Swisher. And I have to hit play. It's a different... He sent a Promoli link, which I've never seen before, but I have to say, quite a nice little interface. So there's some feedback on Promoli. Nice little music interface. Here it is for Frank Swisher.
Wait for me. It don't get no better. It don't get no better. It don't get no better than this. It don't get no better. It don't get no better. It don't get no better than this. Oh, it's in the air. I know you feel it. Don't have to breathe and just admit it. I know you feel it in the air. It done turned into everything that I knew it'd be. Hold you down and show you why we closer than you come to me.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Really, it's very, very
kind
good.
Almost like mid 2000s sort of like vibe to it. Kind of like Usher sort of vibes.
Can I give it what's going to sound like a backhanded compliment? And I don't mean it to be. It's so good in its lane that it is definitely the music I wouldn't listen to. This is music that people much cooler than myself would listen to.
True.
But a lot of the times when people attempt to do that, it will fall short of the mark because you're going up against what's like a very commercial sound. At least here in the UK, that would be a commercial sound. Radio 1, like, do you know what I mean? Like the top radio station. It is really, really clean. And yeah, I would throw my hands up and say it's not the genre I would listen to, but it's a genre that more people would listen to.
It's not the genre I'd listen to, but it's also... I always judge it by, like, if I got into my mate's car who's, like, into, like, rap and R&B and all that sort of stuff, which is not my scene. If I got into his car and he was playing that, I wouldn't be annoyed.
Yeah, you're like, okay, cool. Yeah.
Whereas there would be some songs that you'd get into and we'd be like, oh my God, can we change the bloody station?
The social media is pretty strong. I'm not going to lie. I went on the Instagram. It's kind of, and we speak about Lewis Capaldi's marketing presence. It seems very shitposty. It's very memes, which I think is good. He's got this for that release. It ain't getting better. A little
That's cool.
9-panel. Yeah, good stuff. It's smart. I think this is quite cool. Apart from, like, this would have come up in someone's newsfeed.
Oh.
But apart from
then
that,
maybe that works. Maybe because
because then people will be like, "Oh, what is that?"
Yeah.
Go onto the profile. Absolutely. So that was Frank Swisher featuring Choreo, which I don't know if that's the producer or if there was another vocal that didn't kick in, but really great submission.
Yeah,
I've got nothing
else
to add.
There was no
I guess
production notes.
It's Ohio and not Spain. There's this, which I did check whilst off screen share. It says click and it looks like a bum.
Oh.
But it's an arm.
I like it. I like
good
it.
stuff, innit? Anyway, yeah. There we go. Frank Swisher. Perhaps becoming part of the Indiana Show alumni.
That won't be on Spotify, will it?
That's a really good point. I'm going to guess it is on Spotify. It is on Spotify.
Okay, cool.
He just sent a good link. I'm not going to lie. That link that he sent, the Promoli, I prefer because it was really easy to line up and hit play.
You know what we feel about Spotify. But anyway, it'll be on Spotify. Go check them out.
I'm quickly jumping onto it on Spotify to add it onto the playlist. So there we go. People can see that live. 20,000 listens. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
He's crushing it.
Really clean.
Indiana Show featured playlist to listen to the rest of that. That's a song as well. We talk about it, but I exclusively listen to our playlist when driving. I actually now I listen to the playlist more than I listen to anything else. So sometimes I put an album on. Most of the time I put a playlist on. That's the sort of track where it's not the genre I typically listen to, but when it comes on a playlist, I'm like, this is cool.
Yeah.
As you say, I'm driving. The sun's beating down. So check out Frank Swisher. Link will be in the description as always. The next band up is the Restless Sea. I didn't write where they're from on my prep. So I might
Did you say Le Wrestler?
The Restless Sea.
The Restless Sea. The Restless Sea.
And I can clarify that Sea is SEA.
Ooh.
Like, join the Navy
to
see the sea.
But what do we see?
We
joined the Navy to see the world.
Oh, we almost accidentally made them see the world.
Yeah.
By doing it wrong. That was dumb. Any guesses for the Restless Sea? They're in. Oh, this is fun. They're in Croatia. Labin.
Croatia.
Which I'll shout out right now to the Restless Sea and those in the Restless Sea. I've been to Croatia. It's probably one of the nicest places I've ever visited. Absolutely loved it. Beautiful beaches, great people, good history. You can go see.
Weren't there some gnarly animals there?
We saw a fucking snake. We saw a snake. Do you know, I'm terrified of snakes. And in the UK, I see a snake.
There are snakes, but they're like garden snakes.
Yeah.
They're like maybe that long.
Right. Yeah.
They're not venomous. They're just big worms.
We saw. Yeah. They are. They are huge worms, and they scare me. But we were walking down the path coming back from the beach, and whenever we stay somewhere, our aim is to not be really touristy. So we stay out the way in a little village. It's this beautiful place. It was like 40 minutes away from Dubrovnik or 30 minutes away from Dubrovnik, which is the main place to go. We were walking back this path and a snake went across and I shit myself, right? Really emasculating. And Becky was taking the piss out of me. And we got back. And it was like maybe 2 minutes away or 3 minutes away from where we were staying on this path. We got back to where we were staying and there was a dead bird on the drive. And the snake went and was eating the bird. So we had to go past this fucking huge snake devouring a bird to get back into our apartment. Becky wasn't so manly then, I can tell you then. She was shitting herself too. It was fucking crazy. But beautiful place. Hell of a country. We also saw snakes in the sea as well, in the ocean.
That.
I know, that's fucking crazy.
Reason number 49 not to go into the sea.
Yeah, and to Croatia. No, but a beautiful place. Anyway, that brings me on to the Restless Sea, who they look amazing. I'm not going to lie. Sorry, I've just got their little Facebook. Look at these guys.
Bit of a spoiler. I was going to say that R&B. No, it wasn't.
The Restless Sea. Come on. Well, they might be. You don't know. Have you got a Restless Sea guess?
Well, I reckon they're just like a little rock band, isn't it?
Indie.
Yeah.
I'm going to go indie, guitar driven. They're going to sound like who's the hey, who's that? Trying to draw me into the city.
Oh, Vampire Weekend.
I think they're going to sound like the Vampire Weekend. That's my guess. I think we're going from the top. Make it drop. That's a wet ass. Right. Okay. I've just realised. Okay. This is the Restless Sea. One night.
That's it. I liked it.
Sorry.
And then my one production note was maybe a little bit longer.
Maybe
a bit
4
too short.
taps. 4 taps and a few more chords. I'm fucking sorry. I fucked up. I was hovering over the volume and my touchpad's been real set. I'm sorry. Right. This is the Restless Sea. One night. Take it away, boys. I let it go long.
I like it.
I let it go long a bit.
Like it.
That was an extra 10 seconds.
I like it. It's like kind of like late 90s like classic rock, if you know what I mean. Like it sounded like sort of
Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
Very Guns
100%.
N' Roses.
But then weirdly, vocals Alex Turner.
Oh yeah, no, I really see that.
Like
Even though the
100%.
vocals were a bit Guns N' Roses as well.
Yeah, but then it was also he
hear.
sounded a lot like Alex Turner. If you don't know, Alex Turner is the lead singer for Arctic Monkeys, and it's like I'm not saying the song sounded like that at all.
Mhm.
It's just the vocals, like
No, yeah,
really
100%.
Alex Turner.
I do
like,
hear that. Yeah, because they
weird.
don't sound like Arctic Monkeys at all.
No,
Which
which
I
is
think is good
if
nowadays.
it's a good thing, yeah, nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to sound like early Arctic Monkeys, but maybe this is... No, what I liked is it came in, it built up, and then it didn't... I think the temptation in rock is that you build up and then you go big.
That's
and
where I
didn't.
thought it was going to go.
It was
and I will tell you, at first I was disappointed because that sounded like it was going to go into some sort of like
some big
almost kind of like Foo
Rage Against the
Fighters
Machine.
or not even Rage Against the
Foo
Machine. I would
Fighters?
say Foo Fighters.
That's their breakfast cereal they're coming out with this episode, sponsored by Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
Grab a Dave bowl. I try to make it a bowl. Oh fuck! Right now.
Yeah, but I thought it was going to be a bit bigger.
Cut that. Yeah.
But it was
I think
fine.
that was good.
Yeah, I was fine with it. I think it was good.
I know
Because it reminded me a little bit of Audio Slave. Sorry, the when it was coming in and building up, it sounded very Audio Slave to me, and I was excited.
Yeah.
But then it was like I wasn't disappointed either. It was good,
Great stuff.
and great vocal, like range. That like I always wish I had that kind of gravelly like rock.
Yeah,
like
it's
voice.
a great sound. They look awesome. Like jumping on the photos, they look really cool. They've got an image, which is like the 70s. I like it. Playing a Les Paul. Who doesn't want to play a Les Paul? Yeah, it's a great submission. It's great. I hope it's on Spotify, social and other media platforms. So I might quickly do that. Maybe I cut to the wide and I find their Spotify account. But yeah, that's awesome. In Croatia, that could be a cool gig.
Do you think? Because like we have genres of music, right? And the
We do.
music changes. So like obviously in the 70s, you had like like explosion of rock and all that sort of stuff. Do you reckon there are places in the world where they're only just coming around to that? Like that's what's in now.
It's weird because there's definitely like genres that I think regions are very genre specific. So you can go to certain countries and they'll be into metal, and that's what commercial music is basically.
Like if you go to like Scandinavia, like a lot of heavy metal.
A lot heavier, yeah, and it's like thrash metal instead. So yeah, I don't know. It's quite interesting. You reckon it's like almost like when?
Well, I just think are there places right that are so out there and like they're not behind in civilization, but in trends. They're behind in trends.
Yeah, like the Isle of Wight.
So
where
like
we
there are
grew up.
places. Yeah. We're like one of the last places in the world to get a McDonald's, right?
Or a bank machine, card machine,
or an escalator. Wasn't there a big thing about an escalator
Was
at one point?
there?
I think
I
so.
don't know. Yeah.
Like the first escalator.
We're going up in the world, boys.
All down.
No, escalators are specific.
No, you get on the escalator to go down.
That's an elevator.
No, because that's elevate. It's a de-elevator.
The elevator.
Right, no, but what I'm
Escalate.
saying is, do you reckon
Sorry,
there are
fucking what is
countries
this?
where like they've only just discovered like
Simps. They're going mad for simps.
no, I was going to say like they've only just discovered like Metallica and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
and now that's the like a big flux.
They're
of,
like, this Aretha Franklin chick is awesome. What's she doing now? Oh.
they've only just discovered Frank Sinatra.
Yeah. No.
What's he working? What's Frank on nowadays? Is he making music?
And then they're gonna find that TikTok we played at the start, the AI generated.
He is making music.
He is. It's crazy. I saw before we spin the wheel, and also let's just close off the Restless Sea. That's a great submission.
Yeah.
I've jumped on your
Phenomenal. Was it on
Spotify,
Spotify?
and there's only one song on Spotify, and it's not what we played, and we've not done that yet. So I may just ask if you're watching the Restless Sea. Will you get it on Spotify? It was released a year ago on YouTube, so it should be on Spotify.
Get it on Spotify.
Get it on Spotify.
Get it
It's a great
on Spotify.
sound.
It's a great song. It's polished.
We'll put it
It
on.
was good. There was no production notes. I've got.
Also, sometimes... What an idiot. Sorry, just got an email. Oh no, what an idiot. How have I not muted that?
Well, because you're an idiot.
Why does it make a sound? Also, I don't have anything that does emails on my laptop, so I don't know where that's come from, but it was an email. Anyway, what I was saying is, I think people don't realise that putting your music on Spotify now is so easy. And what used to happen is you used to have to go through a distributor or a label. Now you can do it yourself. I think people do it themselves, but if you use the right service, so for example, DistroKid is probably the most popular, maybe second or third, but it's in the top 3. But with DistroKid, you pay per year, not per release. So if you use something like that, and I'm not endorsing one service over the other, you have to have a look. There are multiple benefits, but they're called music aggregators or online music distribution sites. Use one of those. Do it that way, and then that way all of your music can be on Spotify. You can take it off when you want, so you could release a single, and then if you release an album later and the single's on that, you can take it off. But it means that you're not restricted to how many songs you have. And it costs like, I don't know, it may cost 20, 30, 40 pound a year, but ultimately you'll get that back. Big yawn.
Apologies.
Cut to the yawn cam.
Apologies.
Mental. I hope no one else is yawning. Well, they might now though if they're watching. Anyway, get your music on Spotify. We'll put it on a playlist.
But it will be on the link below.
It will be on the link below. Absolutely, you can hear it on the link below. Should we spin the wheel?
Spin that wheel, baby.
Spin the wheel. I hope... I'm not going to lie. I forgot to prep this. So I've just put all of the music on, but we may get a duplicate. So let's just see what happens. We'll spin the wheel. Wheel of Fortunes. Fuck, I fucked up. Right. Who are we listening to? Nutrik. We've definitely not listened to Nutrik, have we?
I've never heard Nutrik.
Let's have some speculation. B, I'm cutting to you.
I mean, I don't know. There's nothing to go on.
Actually, I'm cutting to the wide.
While you're getting that up, I was going to say, have you seen the latest game that's come out? It's like a Golem game. Right?
I saw an advert for it.
There's a lot about it, right? Because it's in the news, because it's a massive game, right? Like as in like file size. It's like ridiculously big. It's like 160 gigabytes or something.
Right. Okay. So.
But then it's also
makes it like the biggest game.
The requirements to play the game. Like you have to have a rig that's like £5,000 worth, right, just to play the game.
Right. So it's not on console.
It's a scale back. I think it's a PC port as well. This is the thing. It's like it's mental. So it's a PC port, right? The system requirements are ridiculous for it, and it's a massive game, right? Mm-hmm. And then I've seen footage of it, and I've seen people playing the game. It is terrible.
Yeah. I've heard people saying it's absolutely terrible.
Game. It doesn't even look good, right? And it's I don't understand what is happening in the gaming industry, right? Because one, I've been going on about this for 8 years now. Games, they do not know how to make games. I don't know what's going on. And what I mean by that is games are so big. Mm-hmm. They're huge, but pointlessly huge. Like when you look at stuff like Warzone.
Yeah. How
big is Warzone? I got to the point where I stopped playing Warzone just because it got too big for my PlayStation.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to play a game. I don't want to have just one game on my PlayStation.
Yeah.
It's like I have to have a dedicated
instead of having
Warzone
10 games,
PlayStation.
That takes
because Activision don't know how to bloody code a game properly.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just out of hand. And that's happening everywhere now. Like games are just coming out massive big because they're not coded properly. They don't know how to utilize the space or whatever. But then also, why do they keep making games for PC users that are so, like, the system requirements, the minimum system requirements are so whack that people can't even play the game.
Yeah.
There are people that, like, I would have to literally go out and buy a new hard, or like a new graphics card to play this game that doesn't even look good. It's not even good rough. Graphics. Like, what is going on?
Yeah, because it's like PC gaming isn't. I don't think it's the majority. Like, I don't think the majority of gamers are PC gaming.
It's enough of.
It's large.
This is the thing. It's. I think you're. I don't know. I think you're misunder. I think the PC market is huge.
No, it's. Don't get me wrong. It is big.
Even if it's not the majority, it's still enough that you can't be messing around with
100%
crap PC ports and stuff.
But my point, what I was going to say is, if you say that it's 30%, 40%, right, 50, whatever it could be. Because the one thing you do is you don't have a split market, right? So you've got Xbox, you've got PlayStation, then PC.
Yeah.
So it's like the other half, maybe. So maybe it could be the biggest because of that split.
Yeah.
But to then be like, also, it's so big and so, like, we've used everything and it's on Unreal Fire and all of this, to then make it that actually only the top
buy the game.
PC. Yeah. I don't know.
No one can. They're like.
It
They're
looks.
literally pricing.
I don't know.
themselves
I
out the
don't know how
market,
this
which is
works, but shout out IGN. I'll credit them. This is their. I think this. To be fair, they've made a review, and this is the footage that they've released, that Gollum have released. It looks bad. This looks
like it looks like a PlayStation 2
PlayStation 2
title.
game. Yeah, it really does. It really does.
Also,
I don't know.
who's asking for a Gollum?
Oh, no one. is
Who the
asking for a
bloody
Gollum
hell
game.
has asked for a Gollum game?
Yeah. Anyway, right. That is funny though. That is interesting. I'll give you that. It looks bad. It's really, really bad. Yeah.
Can you imagine though? You spend $4,000 on like a PC, top of the line.
I don't.
It's
but
like
yeah.
the highest specs you can get.
I wonder if my PC could play it then.
And then 2 years later,
You-
that bollocks comes out,
yeah.
and you can't even play it.
Here's the thing that I really enjoy. So I've got an okay laptop, right? Because we use it for the podcast. It needs to be high processing for that. But it was also so I could just play a few games. But what I love is I don't play really intense games. I play Firefighter Simulator or Police Simulator or Football Manager. But Firefighter Simulator on my PC, it looks insane. Because it's like it can play meh games at the absolute top spec.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe it couldn't even play Gollum. Thank fuck.
I also
'cause that
think
looks shit.
yeah. I also think there is a line though where it's like there's stuff that is the graphics are so good that it's like they don't even need to be this good now.
Yeah.
Now like they've gone beyond a line. It depends.
Yeah.
There's certain titles. For a title like Gollum, I don't need that to be like the best graphics I've ever seen.
No, you just need good gameplay.
It just needs good gameplay.
That's the focus.
And I feel like most games are like that. Gameplay is always more important than like anything else.
Definitely
Apart
agree.
from when the graphics are so bad, like Mass Effect Andromeda or something, where it's
Yeah.
like this game looks like crap.
Takes out the immersion.
Well, it's not even the graphics with Mass Effect Andromeda; it was the face animations.
I
But do you know what I mean? It's like gameplay is all that matters.
Yeah, true. It really depends. It depends what you're making, but most of the time, like I think of one of my favorite games ever is Papers, Please, and that's like it's a 2D. There's no graphics basically. It's like if you look at the game, you'd think it's from the 80s. It's brilliant because the concept of the game and the gameplay is good. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter how pretty that game is. Some games, I would say, like simulation games, you want there to be some element of immersion, so that can help.
Yeah, that's the thing with like RPGs, for example. I feel like graphics is important.
Yeah,
like
for
Red Dead
sure.
Redemption 2, one of the
Stunning
good
game.
reasons, like one of the best things about the game is it looks so good that you just get so immersed in the world.
Yeah,
Fine.
Oh, maybe I need to play that again. We've spun the wheel. We got
Horse balls go
Nutrik.
bigger. Nutrik.
We got Nutrik.
Where are they from?
They are from because Vancouver.
Oh.
Shout out my British Columbia dude. Vancouver is in the British Columbia.
They've got the Queen on their notes, haven't they?
Yeah. Maybe the king now. Maybe that's the time if I was another country,
They're
I'd be
like-
like, let's sack this off. Let's
yeah.
put Wayne Gretzky on.
Yeah. Why isn't he already
Oh,
on
I think
them?
he is on the
I
flip
think,
side,
yeah.
isn't he? What other Conor McDavid?
On their loonies and toonies.
You don't want Conor McDavid on your notes. Who else could you put?
Famous Canadians.
Yeah.
Richard Dean Anderson.
He's on the 5. He's on the $5 bill. I love that. That's great. Nutrik, any guesses?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Like
Nutrik from
they're
Vancouver.
From Vancouver.
Yeah. Some loony toony shit. That's just a money joke. The money's loonies and toonies, isn't it?
Yeah.
38 seconds in, they've specified. Also, I'm gonna prep my little discussion at the end of the podcast. I'll tell you now, so you can let it marinate while we listen to this song. I'm gonna ask you if there are things you see bands do that are like pet peeves.
Oh, okay.
Or things that you see like, and I'm not talking about like Coldplay. I'm on about like local bands or up and coming bands, people maybe we see on the show. Are there certain things that you see bands doing that is like a faux pas to you, or bits of advice that they could do outside of making music? Something like that. Because I had a little bit, and it's actually off the back of this one, possibly. Nutrik, their Instagram is private, so I can't really show anything like that. But let's have a listen. I literally just checked what time at 38 seconds in. That's not sorry, here we go.
Still got the thing
it's funny to listen to this music in like a critical setting, right? Where it's 10 a.m. We're sat at a table, and both of us are like, right, for music that you would, do fentanyl and punch a wall.
I would never listen to that.
Okay.
That sounds bad.
That sounds really mean.
It's just not my sort of music.
Yeah.
Right? I would never just go, I don't know what I fancy listening to right now.
Here's the thing. I've not done cocaine in my life.
However,
So-
it was good.
Yeah.
It was fine.
Yeah, it was really good. I can hear it at a festival.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. I always, with like that sort of genre of music, I always go, one thing. Could I hear it at a festival? Yep. Mm-hmm. Could I hear it in a movie? Right, in like some sort of action,
sci-fi, maybe,
film, or like something like that.
Or
like
someone
an
just done a
film.
pill in there.
Or there's
Falling
always
into the
like an
Matrix.
action scene in like in movies. Like I always think about this, like John Wick. Right, there's that scene where he's like going to town on people in a nightclub.
Yeah,
that could
great
be
for
music
that.
playing, right?
Yeah.
Or it could be like a video game music, like some.
I
sort
heard
of,
video
like,
game.
Yeah,
we always say Rocket League,
and I'm like, that's how I gauge whether it's good or not.
Yeah,
and I'm like, yeah, that's good.
No, the production's insane.
Yeah, production was good.
100%.
The the melodic sort of like changes and stuff. It was all
The
good.
bassline's
Yeah,
good.
it was all good. The
It
bassline
was,
was
I
good.
loved their. I think in this music, if you do everything straight, it's tough. Whereas there were lines that were like syncopated, so they'd be on the offbeats. It sounded really good. Production's very, very good. As you say, there's a place for this music for sure.
Yeah.
And at 10 a.m. on a bright sunny day, I just thought it looked really funny. I looked at the monitors and we're both like, just entranced, like getting hypnotized. But yeah, no, that's awesome. Again, yeah, I think it's a sort of thing. I know people that would listen to this music that will probably think it is awesome. It sounds very big. I always think it's music like this. I'm like, you can't hit this level of dynamics with guitars and bass and drums.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no equivalent to this. Like a big chord. There's just nothing that has the same feel, which is fun. A little bit of music. So yeah, thank you for the submission, Nutrik. I might start with my thing. It's a social media thing, and I'm going to shout this out. So I've seen a few people do this. I've seen people that are aspiring musicians. I've seen people that are aspiring actors that do the same thing, which is if you go onto Instagram and you were to create a brand new page, no one follows it. The quickest way to get followers is by following a shitload of people, right? And then maybe 50, 60, 70% will follow back. The worst thing ever is if I'm looking at a band to determine if they're big or not, they could have, let's say, 100,000 followers on Instagram, a massive platform. The moment I see that they have 100,000 following as well, when this number matches this number, or in this instance, it's bigger than this number. Now, Nutrik, this isn't specifically about you because your account's private, right? So you're not running a Instagram for your music currently. If you are, that's mental that it's on private. Like you cannot have your social medias on private, especially because the argument could be, well, if people want to see my thing, they have to follow, but you're following more people than are following you. So that isn't working currently. But when I see public pages and the following is even close to the number of followers, it immediately discredits any of the information you could get from there. Whereas if you went onto a band and say they had 1,000 followers instead, oh fuck, I've just missed a blobby.
But they weren't following. Really?
Yeah.
I'll get
my blobby out. It's been
get your blobs out.
Maybe 20 episodes since I've done that, but I've just showed a bunch of email addresses. So that screen may be a bit blurry and blobby.
A bit blobby.
No, so when I see that, like, a band could have 100,000 followers.
1,000.
100. Let's say 100,000, and then the following is 100,000.
Yeah.
I would put more in a band that has 1,000 and 10 following, right? Because your band profile, maybe you can follow some festivals, you can follow some bands you tour with, but it shouldn't be like following everyone. Like have some, like, it's a business tool. Have some, not professionalism, but it kind of is. It kind of is.
Well, it is because it highlights to anyone looking at your page from a professional standpoint that, okay, cool, yeah, there are 1,000 people that follow you because they want to follow you.
Yeah, exactly.
not 100,000 people that have followed you because you followed them.
You're doing a follow back
Yeah.
situation. That's my bit. I think that's probably the biggest pet peeve I have is when people will boost their numbers on social media, but it's always very, very quick to see that it's disingenuous.
I think I've got another pet peeve.
Yep.
Is bands that are too active on social media.
Okay.
And there's a couple of reasons. One, because I think if you're following someone and there's like 10 posts a day, at some point, for me personally, I'm just like, I'm gonna maybe unfollow that or maybe hide it because it's just too much. Like my feed is getting clogged with this one band that are just going absolutely crazy on it. But it dilutes.
Yeah.
It dilutes massively. So you then, instead of maybe getting like one post a day that gets like maybe 100 likes, right? You end up with 10 posts that
will have
get like
4 likes.
Yeah, like 10 likes or whatever. So it's like, and that doesn't look, 10 posts with 10 likes does not look anywhere near as good as one post with 100 likes.
I've got a great equivalent. I've got a great thing to equate it to. If people are like, it doesn't make sense. I'm told to post consistently, which you should post consistently. We don't. I think our last post was from a gig last year or something.
Terrible. We're terrible.
We're the worst.
But this is a point of like we know what we're doing wrong. But we also know what other people are doing wrong. Like it's not.
What I would equate it to is if you're listening and you're like, but I'm trying to post as much. Think of when you get marketing emails, right? If I get one email a year from, let's say I bought a bottle of whiskey last year, and then I get an email that's saying, you bought that bottle of whiskey, it's now half price.
Yeah.
So do you want it? I'm like, cool. I've just got good information. Anytime I get emails, and I'll get 1 email a day, 2 emails a day, I will unfollow immediately. I'll be like, this is too much. Because it won't be relevant. It won't be what I'm wanting to see because you're just trying to sell something aggressively. That's how you have to view your social media. Unfortunately, music is a business. If you're trying to grow your band, you have to treat it like a brand. It's like something you're trying to sell. Whether it's getting people to shows, whether it's getting people to listen to your music, whatever your objective is with social media, you have to be concise with it and like direct. So like, as you say, if you play a small pub gig and you put out 15 posts because of this small pub gig where you're looking at the videos and you're like, people aren't even really there, that's not going to do anything for you. Whereas if you're like, we've just booked a tour or we've got this festival coming up, that's what you need to start hyping. But yeah, you definitely need to be concise. I completely know what you're talking about. I see a handful of people that do it.
Well, it's also just from the fact that if let's say again, like a promoter or a producer stumbles across your band and they're curious, they then click on your social media because that's how that works. You click on that profile. Mm-hmm. They then get just a feed of just all of your posts.
Yeah.
So there's no spreading out. It's not on a feed. They're just looking at every single one of your posts now. And if you post 10, 20 times a day and you get like 2 people liking it, that promoter now is looking at a bunch of tweets that have got 2 likes or 10 likes.
Yeah.
As opposed to if you post once a day or maybe even once a week, right? But they're getting like 200, 400, 500 likes. They now then, when they click on your profile, they're seeing tweets after tweets after tweets after tweets, all getting like 500 likes. They're all getting big likes, but whatever posts, Facebook posts, whatever. No, they're all now seeing a wall of posts that are getting high volume of likes.
Yeah.
Rather than if you post every day and you're getting 10 likes, they're seeing a wall of posts that have got 10 likes, and they then immediately go,
Here's what I would say. If you're playing consistent shows, so say you play 3 shows a week, right? You're touring, you're playing lots of shows. Do 1 post for a show. You don't do your set. Don't do 8 songs. Don't do 1 post. That post could be pictures. It could be like amazing night in wherever, and you take a few pictures, right, of the band, of the crowd, of the venue, and just put them on 1 post. But yeah, I think the problem people make is that they go, I can get loads of content out of this, and they film all of the set and they take loads of pictures and then they post all of them. And it means that for every gig they play, regardless of how successful the gig is, regardless of how important the gig is, we'll have 20 posts against it. So I think that's maybe the mistake people make. Instead of going 1 post per gig, we've played shows before that I've not posted about.
Yeah.
Because it was like, there's no benefit of this. It's not, and it's not a case of bragging, but it's like, if you play an amazing show and you have loads of other shows to sell tickets for, cool, make sure that you're posting about it. And but it's just how you use it. Some people will use it more personally as well. They'll do trends, or they'll speak to people, or whatever it is, and that can be fine too. But if you're just trying to run a band page, I think that's probably the best way, is do a post per show if the show's worth posting about.
There was also, this is purely just a personal preference as well. I always worry about sort of like over promoting yourself, because I think there's a line for me where I'm like, okay, now it's becoming a bit douchey.
Yeah.
Now it's almost like a prima donna, sort of like you're expecting fame sort of thing. So you're like, you want those likes, and you're like being a bit too pushy.
Yeah.
With content, and then it's like for me that loses the coolness of being in a band or being part of a project.
Do you know what I would say is more successful? If you're a new band, right, or like us, like we're paving our way. I would say we're in our first couple years. What works best, and the way we've like genuinely played shows where we sell the most tickets, isn't through posts, it's through just asking people.
Yeah.
You just send someone a message, hey, I'm playing this venue at this time, it'd be really cool to see you. Most people won't come, but you just ask them. That's the key success factor, is that you ask them. If they're free, they may come down. But when you start doing that, and then the kicker is they come, they may bring a friend or two or people you don't know, and you play a great show. If you do play a great show, then the next time you ask, they will come. And the next time you post, they might respond to that. But yeah, I think that's probably it. I mean, I don't see much else. Don't like your own posts.
Oh yeah! Oh my god, definitely do.
I see
that is
that
the
a lot.
worst.
I
And
see
that's,
that
that's,
a lot as
that's
well.
not even like a music thing related. That's just in life in
Yeah.
general. Like I'll be
Yeah.
on like TikTok or something,
Yeah.
and like people like their own comment or something. I'm like,
What?
that is the douchiest thing ever.
What the problem is with Facebook and Instagram, both of those two things, if you like your own post, when someone else looks at the post, you will always be the most relevant person for the platform to say who's liked the post. So if you like your own post on Facebook, Facebook will tell every single person that you liked it. And that's how it works. So what they're doing is they're trying to bump the numbers up, right? So they'll like their own post to be like, now it's 10 and not 9 people liked it. But what Facebook will say is, let's say our band is the example, because I almost actually said the real band's not thinking of. But let's say 2006. It will say 2006 and 7 others like the post, and everyone's like, cool dudes.
Yes.
Right? So don't like your own post.
I hate it. I hate it. But it's also just made me think, like, I don't use Facebook at all, personally. I can't remember the last time I clicked on the Facebook icon, right?
Yeah.
I open up Messenger if I get a message, right?
Sure.
But because I can't use Facebook. Facebook is the worst platform, I think, on there. I can't think of a worse platform than Facebook.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, possibly.
And it's like mainly like, well, here's the thing. Twitter is like, it's just a cesspit of everything, right?
Right.
Facebook, what I hate about it is if I comment on like a video or a post, right? It'll just be like a random thing. It might be something that I'm exclusively into, right? Every one of my friends then like that they get shown that post and then my comment on it. And it's like, I don't want that.
Yeah, I think you possibly may be able to change that, but the fact that it's the default anyway is like stupid.
Like, I don't want everyone I know knowing exactly what I comment on every single fucking video.
Agreed.
Like, it's ridiculous.
Sometimes I'll be writing a comment and I'm like, oh, people are going to see that I'm commenting on this. And I just don't want to have the conversation. Like, I'm choosing.
TikTok are going that way as well, though, because I've noticed, like, we've noticed that we're getting shown videos just because we've commented
here's
on
the thing. Some of it, like, I think I texted you saying that I was going to send you a TikTok, but it's someone that we both watch a lot. So that's different.
That's different.
And also your comment was like the top comment. I did scroll down. I was like, oh, there's only one other comment that's bigger than this one.
Yeah.
But, so I would have seen your comment even if we weren't connected on the platform. But yeah, I will see videos that are really random. And I'm like, this makes no sense I'm seeing this. And then I'll open the comments and it'll be you or it'll be another friend of mine has commented on it. And I'm like, this is just showing me because it's like...
I also hate it. And this is a Facebook and TikTok thing at this point as well. Facebook, I hate friend suggestions. What is that?
True.
That has to stop.
It's
It's
also
never a person.
No,
It's never a real
Pete,
person.
Here's the thing, and I don't want to out you too much, but you don't really leave the house much. No, I'm kidding. But what will happen is I could be walking the dog, right? A new owner, cute dog, plays with mine, Gunter. They get on like a house on
your
fire.
phones have spoken.
Our phones, in the meantime, are like, I'll hit you up, right? Because I'll get home and I'll check and I'll be like, who is that? And it's like the dog walker that I met yesterday.
That is the worst thing
It's
ever.
bad.
That's the worst thing
Yeah.
ever. I like, honestly, Facebook is the worst platform. But then also, I hate TikTok. Keeps saying, "Oh, you follow this person because we know you know them."
Yeah, or
I
because
can't
they follow.
scroll. Honestly, I swear to God, I'll scroll every like 20 posts. It feels like it's asking me to be friends with Becky.
Sure, right, yeah. I get my mum because and the devil's advocate, and this is not for your situation.
And I'll tell you now, I've not once ever been on Becky's profile.
This is my point.
I've never clicked on Becky's profile.
It's fine. She doesn't have anything on there.
I don't know.
You're saying it as
But
if
what
she's
I'm saying,
like twerking on
but what I'm saying is that I don't care.
No,
I don't
get
care
you.
about anyone
I
else's
get you.
profile.
It's weird.
I liked TikTok originally because I felt like it was a place where you go, you make an account, it's a stupid name, right? And then it's like anonymous, like you can just whatever. TikTok is fine, whatever. Now it's like no, TikTok. We know you know this person, so it's like you need to friend them.
Yeah.
I'm like I don't need to friend them.
But this is my point. I was gonna say, me getting my mum, she sends me TikToks constantly on text and on Facebook. So you can make an argument that TikTok is trying to be like, look, you guys are sending TikToks back and forth.
Me and Becky don't speak.
No. But first, I was gonna say, don't do that.
Yeah.
Right. So you're telling me, because outside of your platform, I'm interacting with someone, and now you want to get in on it. Mind your own fucking business is what I say. TikTok. But that was what my point was going to be. So that explains, my mum coming up. But Becky, I know for a fact
honestly,
you
I don't
don't
understand.
text.
I don't understand.
You speak in one particular scenario, and it's that you're both drunk and you're having a heated conversation, and when that happens, you guys are like a house on fire, right? You like to piss each other off. It's weird, but if there's not alcohol involved, right? Everyone could leave the room, and you two could be left in there. You're not speaking. It's weird.
And it's not like it's not.
I know
it's not like a malice or anything. It's
well,
not
for
like
her it is. Yeah, she hates you.
But yeah, I don't know. We just don't. We don't communicate. I don't message Becky ever. The only time I've ever messaged Becky is when you've messaged me on her phone.
Yeah. Anything else?
That might be it.
It happens like once a year.
I don't know.
Crazy. Do you have anything else?
I don't think so.
What about indianashow.com for this cool mug and for t-shirts? If we sell enough, we can buy a lighting rig. That's what I'm going for. There aren't any new designs at the moment because I'm not allowed to make them because I made too many last time. And I got told off.
You made too many.
So I've actually... Maybe I need to be a costume designer or something because it's fucking fun. I love it. I got so carried away. Anyway, there are t-shirts on there. They're £15. Code BEANS for 15% off.
Drop your beans.
You can get 2 for 25 if you want 2 t-shirts from us for some reason. They're comfy though.
The 2 for 25, I'm hoping, excludes the like 300 and 500.
Oh yeah, it does.
Ones.
It does.
Okay.
It does.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't get those cheap.
Yeah, but I imagine like we would have fucked that up and people.
No, I
would just...
checked. I was like, I don't want people buying those on the cheap. So it took ages as well because at first it was like, if it's a t-shirt, put it on the deal, and then it was impossible to break that. So I had to make them on a different. Anyway, yeah. As a joke, we did the Baller series. So if you want one of those, they're £500.
The only other thing I was going to mention, right, is if you're an up and coming content creator, right, and you're desperate to become famous, and you decide that you're going to make prank videos, you're a scumbag. Stop doing it. Prank videos are getting out of hand again.
What has happened? I remember I've known people have deafened people with the air horns.
Do you remember back in the day, prank videos became a thing, right?
Yeah.
And they were fantastic. They were great. They were funny,
Uh-huh.
right? And it was mainly because the pranks were more inwards.
Yeah.
It was more inwards. It wasn't offensive. It wasn't like harassment. It was more inwards. It was more kind of fun thing. And then they started taking a turn, right? Because I think all of the good pranks got used.
Yeah.
But then also we live in a world now where everyone has to be famous. Everyone needs to be famous.
Yeah, there's a desperation behind it.
So then they're like just doing anything, whatever. We've now got to a stage where like I don't know if you heard of a guy called. I don't even want to say his name.
Don't shout him out. Fuck it.
But there's a kid, a UK kid, right, who has been doing pranks for years, and his pranks consist of walking up to like an old lady in the park, and then just picking up her dog and then running away with it.
What the fuck?
Right, which is that's a traumatic experience.
Yeah.
Right. That in no way is that amusing.
Also, I'll throw out
vaguely
here.
Funny.
I'll throw out here that if I witnessed that, I would beat the shit out of them before, before they could tell me this was a prank.
Yeah, but here's the thing: this little spineless shit wouldn't ever go up to anyone that he thinks could beat him up.
Yeah, of course.
That's the whole point of all of these pranksters. Right?
Yeah.
They act all
They're
big.
cowards.
They act all big and tough, but they go after like vulnerable people. They go after like old ladies sat on a fucking park bench. So other ones that he's done is he walks up to people like in a balaclava and like, do you want to die? And it's like, do you want to die? Like, do you want to die now? Right?
Yeah.
Like, what's he doing? The latest ones he's doing is like he's done a couple where he just walks into people's houses.
Again, I would kill
filming.
him.
Just walks into people, and it's part of me that I'm like, I wish this kid was doing it in America.
Yeah, for sure.
Because this is the only time where
100%.
this is the only time where I'm on board with America's
Yeah,
laws,
just little
because
shit.
fucks like this would just get I'm not. He shouldn't get that. Might need to be bleeped out.
Yeah. Yeah. Bleep. Beef.
Yeah. But the frustrating thing is because like obviously the videos are like they're terrible. There's like him and a couple of his friends just walking to someone's house, and again like there's a woman out front like taking out rubbish or doing some gardening or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. So again they've gone after that because it's a woman or whatever. This woman then like obviously panicking like calls for her husband or boyfriend or whatever. And then he comes up and he's trying to get him out of the house. And again, he's panicking. He's got kids upstairs and stuff. His kids are in the house. I'm like, that is outrageous, right?
Yeah.
He got arrested, right? Because the police were tracking him, right? He got arrested. What do you think the outcome of that was?
Was it nothing? Was he just found?
He got a £300 fine.
For what? What did he get arrested for?
Just for all the pranks.
See, he's trespassing. I would say there's got to be some assault or some because he's threatening people. That's insane.
Like just harassment.
Here's
and it's like, there's a multiple of things, right? One, right? People need to stop talking about, and this is why I don't want to name him. I don't want people to be like, oh, you can check out his. But
why has he got a platform though? Because it doesn't sound
this
like
is
good
the thing.
content.
I understand because I'm a big advocate, right, for the like freedom of media, freedom of speech, and whatever. But at the same time, I'm not a psychopath, right? Whoever's platforming this person, right, needs to have a really long, hard look at their policies, and go, okay, let's rethink what kind of media, what kind of material do we want to platform.
It's
right?
tough to talk about it from a censorship
like
point.
letting people upload that sort of stuff and then keeping them. Bearing in mind, we're on a
Well,
platform.
he's breaking laws.
Bearing in mind, we're on a platform, right, where we say words about news that has happened.
Yeah.
And our video gets flagged.
I'll probably have to bleep a couple of things you
Yeah,
just
because
said.
we've just said. Whereas this guy, he's like literally breaking the law. He's harassing
I think that's
people
against
online.
I think that's against
He's
all
like,
policies, though.
And that's the thing. But he's getting loaded up on it. So what platforms are he going on? I'm assuming he was on YouTube.
Yeah,
I don't know. This is where it's like this is why I'm like YouTube are a joke of a company.
Yeah, no, it is. They're bad.
But like, who's platforming this?
Mm-hmm.
But then also, it just shows how piss poor our policing and our justice system is in this country.
Yeah.
How £300 fine, off you go. What message does that send?
I don't know.
That is not going to stop any scumbag like making crap material like that.
Can I say, and I mean this genuinely, there's been one time since having Max where I heard the front door open and close, knowing that Becky and Max were upstairs. And I'll say this, and I don't know, people may judge this, I don't think they would. I was in the kitchen and I grabbed a knife, right? And at first I genuinely had a thought. I was doing washing up or something, which I will timestamp this. No, I was, and
look, he's like, he hasn't done washing up in months.
Okay, so it's September, and I remember specifically, I went to grab a knife, and there were two. There was the big knife, and there was like a smaller knife, like this big.
Pick the big knife.
I picked the smaller knife.
Oh.
Because I was like, I feel like I remembered seeing it's better to have that than a big knife, because you can go out with a big knife. It's easier to stop a big knife. So I picked the small knife and went and looked, and I don't know. I still to this day don't know what happened. I don't know if someone there's kids on the road, so it may have been a kid that had just opened it. If it was someone coming into the house, I was 100% ready to defend my family, to defend Max, to defend Becky. I was ready to do that. So if that little prankster wants to come and film a prank, right, feel free.
But do you know?
But what would
the
happen
scary
as well?
thing
What would
is?
happen? Because if he came into my house, right, burst through the door filming, I would have at least taken him down and tried to beat the shit out of him. If him with a little kitchen knife a bunch of times so he can't hurt my family. What would happen? I would get arrested,
This is
wouldn't I?
the thing. This is the thing. I don't really know what the laws are, right, with that, because I know, like in America and stuff, it's like
We have
you're
self-defense as well.
You're protecting your property.
We have
right?
self-defense laws.
Yeah, but then but I think there's a really weird grey area, because at what point is it self-defense?
Yeah.
Like if someone breaks into your house, right, but they're not causing you harm, and you beat them up, is that self-defense?
They wouldn't know. They weren't causing me harm.
Well, this is the thing. I don't know.
I'd be like, they came in and they were like, I didn't know what they were going to do.
But the thing is, I don't know what the laws are. But
Yeah.
it's another demonstration of the fact that our justice system and our policing in this country is a joke. It is an absolute joke, because we live in a world now where people can just walk into people's houses, filming it, uploading it, whether £300 fine, which I think at the very least that kid needs to go to jail and spend some time in jail.
Yeah,
right?
for sure. Breaking into houses multiple times.
Or just the content he's creating, like stealing people's dogs.
Can I?
Right? I don't get it. It needs to be addressed. But he got a £300 fine, right?
Yeah.
We have people that have legitimately, right, faced prison sentences because of jokes they've made online.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Jokes. And my other point was going to be, you could go and protest, and people are getting arrested for that now because they've introduced new laws. So you could protest and be like,
unless you're Just Stop Oil, and then the police will just sit there and do nothing.
Oh, real quick ending note.
Nothing.
Real quick ending note. Do you know the guy that did the snooker?
Yeah.
Have you seen anything about this?
I saw a clip where he was maybe talking about.
It's
I don't know what he said. He said something pretty extreme.
Wait, no, the guy. No, so what happened is the organizer. The organizer was talking about it, and
just in case you don't know, like if you didn't see it, because it's quite a British thing. Cause it's snooker.
Oh yeah, sure.
Right? Snooker World
and
Champions.
Just Stop Oil,
Snooker World Championship and Just Stop Oil. Yeah, I don't know if Just Stop Oil is big outside of the UK, but basically Just Stop Oil is a bunch of
fucking
I don't know.
hippies.
Yeah, like idiots, morons,
Yeah,
because they don't even. Some of the protests they've done are so moronic. It's like I don't even think they know what is happening.
There's no logic.
There's no
behind
logic.
it.
They're like criticizing. They did the Chelsea Flower Show.
Yeah.
They were like sprinkling dust on the flowers.
Yeah.
I'm like,
are we mad at flowers?
I don't know what the message is,
Wait.
but Just Stop Oil. They're against oil. They want to stop oil. They want to stop.
So they're
cooking oil.
Yeah. Well, this is the point. They're protesting everywhere. They'll go in the middle of roads, in motorways. They'll close roads. There's been loads of instances of ambulances that can't get places because these fucking hippies, and they're all the same people. They're all absolute middle to upper class people who are living off of trust funds. That
if they were
can't
wearing
have
suits, they've got like elbow pads. They've got the tweed pads.
So they're a joke. But yeah, that's them. One of them protested a snooker competition. A snooker tournament happened.
Yeah, snooker's a big deal in the UK.
They went onto a snooker table, a billiards table, maybe. No, is that more
No, it's
British?
just snooker.
It would just be
It's just
snooker.
snooker.
Do Americans play snooker?
I
Pool.
don't know.
This.
It's big pool though.
Big pool. So yeah, one of them went onto it and set
two
off,
of them.
Like,
two of them.
Was it two?
One of them
Set
got
off flares.
tackled before he got on there.
Right. So
and it
the
wasn't
one
a flare. It was just like stupid orange like powder.
The dust.
The
Right.
dust.
And they do that and they ruined it. Got out. Right. So the clip that I saw, which maybe was the same, was from the commissioner of the snooker organisation, so the people responsible for it. And they were like, there's two options here. One is that we could ramp up security and make it impossible for people to enjoy the event. We could do it behind closed doors. We could stop spectators, but that's then letting them impact it. The other option, which they chose, was people who are impacted, i.e. those that have paid to see it. They were like, we've done the research and our legal team have done the research that they could go to small claims court.
Oh,
and
yes.
they could sue for their expenses, their travel, their hotel, their tickets, right? And they're like, we've calculated that everyone would be able to do this. So we have paid our legal team are on retainer for anyone that wants to sue this one person. And they were like, because I want to ruin his life. I want him to see consequence for what he's doing. And he was like, I think so far, like 100 people have signed up. And they were like working it out that they'll probably be able to get like £1,000 each or something. So they're making this massive lawsuit to just sue the dick.
Do you know what the stupid thing is, right? Is when I see Just Oil protests going on, right? It's not even just a protest, because it's not a protest. I'll make that clear. It's not a protest. They're not protesting.
Yeah.
Right? Because a protest is when you organise it and you go, okay, cool, yeah, we're all going to meet here. We're not going to fucking block roads. We're not going to, whatever. We're just going to sit here and we're going to protest and show how many people... voice our concerns. We're going to show how many people are against this so the world can see, right? These people are just vile, scumbag, pathetic morons, right? That have no concept of anything, because most of the time they're protesting at events that are environmentally friendly. Yeah. Right? And I'm like, what are you doing?
Or causing higher usage.
Yeah.
It's the same as...
It's like when they all got on top of the tube, do you remember? And stopped the tube. And I'm like, what do you want? Like, tube is an environmentally friendly way to travel, because it's like you've got thousands of people all sharing one form of transport rather than clogging up the roads and using individual transports, right? You want people using public transport. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop public transport so people can't go to work, right? But when that happens, do you know what it makes me want to do? It makes me want to go on a massive unnecessary car journey where I'm revving the crap out of my car and just polluting as much as I can, right? Just because I hate you. Yeah. Just because I hate you.
Because you're a spoiled little shit.
And like I'm on the camp is like, yeah, I think we do need to be a bit more environmentally friendly, right? Yeah. Why not? I think it's good. It's like plastics in the ocean. I don't think you need to be like a global warming or denier or supporter to agree that plastics in the ocean aren't a good thing. Yeah. I think we can all get behind that.
Save the belugas.
But stop standing in the bloody middle of the road, stopping ambulances and fire services getting by, right? People are dying because you don't want people to drive a fucking car.
The first week it happened, and I'm going to say this, and this may be a bad look for me, because I've already said that I would have stabbed someone that invaded my house, which is true.
There might be a lot of bleeps this episode.
I don't know. But when the first week it happened was... And I might be wrong with the dates, but the first week it was on my radar was in 2021, right? And it was the week that Becky was due, my son Max. And I remember us leaving the hospital, and in my head, I genuinely was stressed. What if, because I'd heard about certain protests, what if one of those protests is on our route?
It's not a protest.
Yeah, well, one of the little tantrums, little group tantrum. And I said to Becky, I was like, when we had Max, it wasn't a simple birth. So it was like we went to doctors in Thatcham, and they were like, you need to go to the hospital in Reading. So we had to make that drive. It was stressful. I said in the car journey, I was like, if I get to it and I'm one of the first cars, we're getting through. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're getting through. If you're telling me that it's to help you get what you need and to help our unborn child, I was like, I'm getting through the roundabout. So I don't know. This is going to end with them getting killed. And there won't be much sympathy.
I think my view on it is like, if you're stood in the middle of the road, right, you should expect to get hit by a car.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we teach kids.
Smart. Yeah.
That's what you teach your kids when they're growing up. You're like, don't stand in the middle. Don't play in the street. Don't stand in the middle of the road. When you're crossing the road, look both ways. Make sure there's no cars coming. That's what we teach like 5-year-olds, right? So I'm like, if you're a grown adult and you're stood in the middle of the street, then you should expect to get hit by a fucking
What happens though? What happens if I'm approaching a junction and someone just walks out in front of my car, right, and I hit them because they're walking into oncoming traffic? What happens? Because at the moment it feels like they're so protected that I would probably get arrested for attempted murder.
And this is the thing, they are protected, right?
Yeah.
They are, like, there's no doubt about it. How long, right, does it take the police to get a Just Oil fucking skirmish done?
They
just sit there and watch. Every video I've ever seen, right, there's like normal people that are getting angry, right, dragging them off the streets,
and the police are
are arresting the people dragging them off the streets because they're like, you can't do that. I'm like, what do you mean I can't do that? Someone's got it. I thought it was going to be the people in the fucking fluorescent yellow vests.
Yeah,
with the truncheons.
Have the power. whenever we go over speed bumps with Max in the car, we go, oh, and he really enjoys it. Just stop oil. See you guys next week. Have a good week. Love you. Ciao.